What is up, everyone? Happy Football Friday. Got some action going on right now, I believe. Making sure, see if the 7:30 actually. The first game starts tonight in the FBS, but we got a whole show to talk about college and NFL. So let's get to it. Bills last night get to 3-0 over the Dolphins, 31-21. Excellent game for Josh Allen, 78.6%, 213, 3 touchdowns, 4 carries for 25 yards. Tua, I was impressed with the Dolphins' resiliency in this game. They played very well. Were in the game the entire night, but one costly interception from Tua ended it essentially. Tua 64.7%, 146, 2 touchdowns, a pick, 2 carries for 10 yards. And he never saw Terrell Bernard, the backside linebacker, on the interception that sealed the game for Buffalo. But my thing was Tyreek Hill was wide open on the left. He ran a little out and up route, and I thought it looked like he was wide open. So there's that. James Cook, big night for him on the ground, over 100, lead the game in rushing, 19 carries, 108 yards, and a touchdown, 3 catches for 10 yards. Devon Achane led the Dolphins in rushing, 62 yards. Big workload in the passing game, 7 receptions on 9 targets, only 29 yards, though. I needed 11 more yards from him. It sucked. Kind of like Cook, I needed 5 more receiving yards from him as well to cash a couple of parlays. But congrats, Ollie Gordon, scoring his first NFL touchdown of his career. Tight end Dalton Kincaid for the Bills led the game in receiving, caught 5 of 6 targets, 66 yards, and the first touchdown, or the second touchdown of the game, I should say. Tyreek Hill, double-digit targets for him, caught 5 of his 10 targets, 49 yards, and a score. And defensively, got to go with the top guy, Dolphins. Linebacker Tyrell Dodson, 11 tackles, all of them solos, sack, tackle for loss, pass defense, and a QB hit. Terrell Bernard, obviously, I think definitely deserves player of the game status as well. For being the game winner, essentially. Dolphins plus 11.5. They covered over 50.5. I had both of those. College football news. Colorado going back to Liberty transfer Caden Salter for their starting QB this week. So Coach Prime back to Salter. South Carolina, great news for them. They are getting their starter back this week, quarterback Lenora Sellers. Will play in Missouri, in Columbia, this weekend, tomorrow. Arizona State, Kansas. They are in talks to play a game in London next year in September. That would be the first ever college football game in London. So that would be very cool. I mean, the NFL plays there, every year. 4 games now. So, yeah, I think it would be pretty cool for the college football to get some London flair there. UFL news. It's the off season. We got a bunch of signings. The Michigan Panthers re-signing defensive back Nate Brooks, running back Toa Tawa, tight end Gunnar Oaks, linebacker Frank Ginda, and defensive back DJ Miller Jr. All integral pieces of both offense and defense for Michigan last year. So they bring all those guys back. And they signed one of their college draft picks, former Illinois undrafted free agent offensive tackle Julian Pearl. Pretty solid player, versatile, can play guard and tackle. Undrafted in 2023. And the Stallions, they signed defensive tackle Carlos Davis. So he reunites with his brother there. in Birmingham. And also, he's a very good player for Birmingham as well. NFL news, players of the week. AFC offense, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor, massive yards, a lot of yards against the Broncos D last week. AFC defense, Ravens linebacker Roquan Smith, I think he had 15 tackles. Big time statistical game for him. AFC special teams, Patriots running back Antonio Gibson had the 90-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. The kickoff after Malik Washington scored on his punt return. NFC offense, Lions QB Jared Goff just smashing the Bears, 5 passing touchdowns. NFC defense, 49ers linebacker Fred Warner. And NFC special teams was Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey. I understand the Aubrey one, but my vote would have went to Parker Romo, made all 5 of his field goals and an extra point in the win over Minnesota. And, Brandon Aubrey was good. He hit all 4 of his field goals and 4 extra points as well, including the game tire before to go into overtime, and he hit the game winner in overtime as well. DC, the Commanders are coming back. The DC City Council has approved the $3.8 billion, 65,000 seat stadium proposal for the Washington Commanders to be built on the site of the old RFK Stadium. So Washington will return to Washington, D.C. instead of Landover. I believe it's 2031 is the projected date, 2030, 2031, something like that. IR, the Chargers, they placed edge rusher Khalil Mack on the list. Dislocated elbow on Monday night there. Injuries, Packers wide receiver Jaden Reed out indefinitely. He had surgery today on his broken clavicle, and they also did surgery on a Jones fracture in his left foot as well. So out indefinitely. Falcons corner AJ Terrell, he is week to week with a hamstring injury, so out this week. Steelers offensive lineman Max Sharping, he is done for the year, tore his ACL in practice. Bucs guard Cody Mauch, he is also out for the season, knee injury on Monday night. Packers tight end Tucker Kraft, scare in practice this week, knee injury, not considered long-term though, but he is listed as questionable. And the Dolphins tight end Darren Waller dealing with a hip injury, expected to make his debut when the Dolphins play their next game next Monday night. Ins and outs, Jets going to be without QB Justin Fields, with a concussion, edge rusher Jermaine Johnson, and wide receiver Josh Reynolds all out. 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, shoulder and toe injuries. He is likely to be not going to start, but he could be the second or third string QB this week. Wide receiver Juwan Jennings, ankle injury. He is listed as questionable. Patriots corner Christian Gonzalez, defensive end Keon White. They are both questionable. Bears linebacker TJ Edwards, hamstring. Corner Kyler Gordon, hamstring. Corner Jalen Johnson with a groin, and corner Jalen Jones, hamstring. They are all out. Running back DeAndre Swift with a quad injury is questionable. Colts rookie tight end Tyler Warren with a toe injury. Corner Travarius Ward Sr. with a concussion. They are both questionable. Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert, knee injury. He will play, returning this week. Running back Will Shipley, oblique injury. He is out. Bucks rookie wide receiver Emeka Egbuka. He is questionable. Seahawks corner Devon Witherspoon, safety Julian Love, running back Zach Charbonnet, and rookie safety Nick Eamon-Worry. They are all doubtful. Commanders wide receiver Noah Brown, quarterback Jaden Daniels. They are both out. Marcus Mariota starts for Washington. Cowboys defensive end Jadeveon Clowney, game time decision, but owner Jerry Jones said probably not going to play. Corner Deron Bland is out. Packers offensive tackle Zach Tom, oblique injury. He is questionable. Broncos tight end Evan Ingram, linebacker Dre Greenlaw. They are both out. Vikings center Ryan Kelly, offensive tackle Justin Skule. They are both out. As is Bengals rookie defensive end Shamar Stewart. Steelers linebacker Alex Highsmith, corner Joey Porter Jr. both out. Chargers tight end Will Dissly, safety Elijah Molden out. Titans offensive tackle J.C. Latham and defensive tackle Tavondre Sweater both out. And Chiefs defensive end corner Christian Fulton are both out for Sunday Night Football. The Falcons today thanking kicker Younghoe Koo for his service. They released him, officially named Parker Romo as the starting kicker for the Atlanta Falcons. Couple low-level signings, practice squad. Steelers signing Patriots linebacker Juwan Bentley to the practice squad. Commanders signed Steelers edge rusher Preston Smith. That's the active roster. Bucks signed guard Dan Feeney off of the Bills practice squad, and they re-signed guard Sua Opeta to their practice squad, dealing with offensive line injuries. Cody Malk out for the year. Tristan Wirfs still working his way back, and Luke Gadecki out extended period of time as well on IR. The Seahawks, they signed Saints offensive lineman Shane Lemieux to their practice squad, dealing with some O-line issues as well. College football pick standings. Jimmy and I still tied at the top, 23-6 last week. Logan actually had the best record. He gained on us a game. And last week, it was pretty solid. Lone Wolf week after week 2, we went winless between all of us. We went 0-6. Week 3 was pretty fruitful. We went 6-2 collectively. Logan went 3-1, got New Mexico right on Friday over UCLA, big time win by 25. Georgia Tech in the upset over Clemson by 3 on Saturday. Wisconsin, he lost though, got blown out by Alabama, and then he got Cal right on Saturday night as well over Minnesota. I went 2-1. I got Arizona right over Kansas State on Friday. Pitt lost in overtime to West Virginia. And then Texas A&M beating Notre Dame by 1 in South Bend. And Jimmy, he won his only one. Tulane got the win on Saturday night over Duke by a score. So Logan's still trailing us by 2. Starting off tonight in about 40 minutes, Iowa at Rutgers. And we're starting it off with a bang here. Yeah. Apparently, it is a blackout in Rutgers tonight for this game. So they're going to be hyped up. I gotcha. But what I'm saying is that Iowa is going to continue to run the ball like they've always done. They're going to keep Rutgers off the field offensively. They're going to play good defense like they always do. I love the under in this game, 45.5. And I just think they got the better quarterback. Mark Gronowski is my guy. I love him from South Dakota State. Not in an offense that he's going to throw it all around like he did at SD State, but game managing in this one is going to be key. Kirk Ferentz gets the win on the road. Go Hawkeyes. College Schultz, got you, bud. Total's 45.5. Like I said, under 45.5 is what I like. 8 p.m. on Fox tonight. Let's go to tomorrow. Starting off with a massive Big 12 showdown. Number 17, Texas Tech at number 16, Utah. We are all on the Utes, and this scares me, people. This scares me, okay? I don't like that we're all across the board here, but, you know, I really like Utah. I picked them to win the Big 12. The Hall of Fame Fund did preseason. So really love Utah. Devin Dampier is really coming into his own. Our guy John Babington likes him from his time at New Mexico the last couple of years. So, yeah, Texas Tech is a wagon right now. But they got to go to Utah, and it's going to be difficult. Kyle Whittingham plays very good defense there. But it's going to be a difficult one. I think it might be high scoring, but Utah's going to get the stops that they need, and that's going to be the key. Total's 57.5. I am going to roll with the over, lean on it. 12 p.m. on Fox. Arkansas at Memphis. We're all on the Razorbacks. Yeah, I mean, Taylor Green has been lights out, and that is why we essentially are going with the SEC. I mean, why would you not pick the SEC team? Anyways, Memphis, pretty powerful, a group of 5 team, but I think we're still going to roll with Arkansas, who gave Ole Miss quite a run in Oxford last week. Total 61.5. I would lean on the over. 12 p.m. on ABC. SMU at TCU. Dallas Fort Worth showdown here. Jimmy rolling with the Mustangs here. I don't blame him. 6.5 is quite a bit for this game, I think. So I would lean on SMU on the spread. But I like TCU. Josh Hoover is turning into one of the best players in the country, best quarterbacks at least. And he has been lights out through their 2 games. The Horned Frogs defensively have been really solid as well. I think they're going to be able to shut down Kevin Jennings, who I don't think is quite there yet in terms of where he needs to be like kind of Josh Hoover, one of the better quarterbacks or best quarterbacks in the country. Needs to do a lot of work on the passing and needs to get his legs more involved. But I'm going with Sonny Dykes and the TCU squad here. I got you, Will Jones. 63.5 is the total. I mean, this should be a barn burner, so I'm going to go with the over. 12 p.m. ESPN2. Big one in Norman, number 22, Auburn at number 11, Oklahoma. Sooners getting 7.5 here. I would lean on Auburn on the spread plus 7.5. I think Auburn can stick with them. It's Jackson Arnold revenge game coming for the Tigers. I just think the guy that they replaced Arnold with, John Mateer, is much, much better. So I'm going with the Sooner squad at home, big time SEC matchup. But yeah, I think Oklahoma is quite the team under Brett Venables, and John Mateer is a dude. I really love him. 47.5 is the total. I'm going to lean on the over 3:30 ABC. Number 21, Michigan at Nebraska. Logan going with Wolverines on the road. No Sharon Moore, right? Head coach is out. This the second game of their self-imposed suspension. So he is out. What does that mean? I'm not sure. But Jimmy and I like Nebraska. Here's why. Matt Rule, for 1, year 3 in programs, has been an absolute wagon. And for 2, I think Dylan Raiola has really taken a step through 3 games so far. And this is the first big test for Nebraska. They got to get over the hump. This would get them into the rankings, I believe, and solidify them as a potential Big Ten contender. So I think this one matters a lot for Nebraska. And it does for Michigan, too, because if Michigan loses, I mean, they're out of the playoff, I think. I don't think they're going to make a run to 10-2 in Big Ten and whatnot. But, yeah, I like Nebraska. Home game in Lincoln. Let's get it done. Total's 47.5. I'm going to lean on the under. 3:30, CBS, Paramount Plus. Florida at number 4, Miami. Yeah, this is the dumbest site for game day this weekend. Like, you had multiple ranked matchups. You had Salt Lake City, Utah. You had Norman, Oklahoma, and you had Bloomington, Indiana. Okay, those are the 3 ranked matchups this weekend. You could have gone to any of them. Hell, I would have rather you went to Nebraska, to Lincoln. This is a stupid game. I think Miami is going to wreck Florida. Maybe not. Maybe Florida covers. I don't know. But defensively, Florida should be okay. It's just, can this offense get going? They only scored 10 against that stout LSU defense last week. And I don't know if they can against the Miami defense. So we're all rolling on the Canes and the U. Total's 51.5. I'm leaning on the under. 7:30 on ABC. Number 9, Illinois at number 19, Indiana. Yeah, I'm really excited for this game. This one is second for me behind the Texas Tech Utah game. I'm really looking forward to this one. Illinois comes in super experienced, and that's why I'm picking them. The experience of Luke Altmaier at quarterback. Fernando Mendoza has been fantastic so far, but they haven't played anyone, Indiana. Illinois, though, I really like what they have. They've been in a difficult game. They, turned that thing around in the Duke game and ended up rolling. So I think Illinois is a good team, and I think that they could even be a great team challenging the powers, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State, for the Big Ten this year. Yes, the Illini get it done on the road in Bloomington. I don't know why it's 6.5. I am smashing Illinois 6.5 all day. Total is 52.5. I'm going to lean on the under 7:30 NBC and Peacock. Big 12 action, Arizona State at Baylor. Yeah. Yeah, this is a scary one for me. ASU is a team I really liked coming in. They're the reigning Big 12 champs, right? Why wouldn't you like them? Well, they lost Cam Scatterby, lost a couple other pieces, but they still have Sam Levitt at quarterback. They still have Jordan Tyson at wide receiver, and the defense is still pretty solid. I also really like Sawyer Robertson, though, at Baylor, okay? But I'm going to go with Kenny Dillingham, the experience of Sam Levitt from last year, the experience of Jordan Tyson. I think this ASU team is going to play some defense. They're going to run the ball as well. Keeping Sawyer Robertson on the sidelines a big deal in this one. I like the Sun Devils. Tridents up. Get the thing done there in Waco. 59.5 is the total. I'm going to lean on the over. 7:30 on Fox. Fresno State at Hawaii. Jimmy, Lone Wolf and the Bulldogs on the road, they're favorites. I understand that. I do understand they are favorites. However, this thing's on the island, and I don't pick against Hawaii on the island very often. I did. I picked Stanford in week 0, and what happened? Hawaii won. Okay, I don't know the last time Hawaii was 3-1. Okay, this Rainbow Warriors team has a different feel behind their quarterback. The name is blanking. Alihada, I believe is his last name. I can't remember his first name right now. But yeah, I mean this Rainbow Warriors program feels a little different than it usually has. So I like Hawaii in the upset at home. I'm not gonna watch it, but yeah, I think I'm gonna wake up and Hawaii's gonna win. Total is 47.5. I'm going to lean on the under, just under. I think it gets to, 45, 46, 47. It is 11:59. I believe it's actually midnight, so it's a Sunday game, technically. No broadcast associated, of course. FCS Game of the Week. Yeah, we don't have our normal top-ranked versus top-ranked Missouri Valley Football Conference matchup this week. So let's go with a this is a Southland Conference versus Big Sky, I want to say. Southland for UIW. And Big Sky for Northern Arizona. So this is a big matchup down in the teens of the rankings. Number 19, Incarnate Word at number 17, Northern Arizona. I'm going with the home team, the Lumberjacks. I really like their mascot. UIW is always an offensive power, but I like the Lumberjacks. They can throw it too. That's what you do in the Big Sky is throw the ball around. So I like Lumberjacks at home. This one's 5 p.m. on ESPN tomorrow. All right, let's get a NFL pick standings. By the way, Tulsa at Oklahoma State kicking off right now, 10.5 points. The favorite there for Oklahoma State, 54.5 total. I like the over and Tulsa. Give me Tulsa. It's on ESPN, kicking off currently. Yeah, we got the NFL pick standings here. Logan on top, 22-25, leading the way there. Stellar. I mean, last week Logan's just been on fire. I mean, 11-3 week 1, 11-2 last week. I should probably be taking notes, but Danny also has been pretty solid. Just 2 back of Logan. 10-4 week 1, 10-3 this week. Jimmy is in third. He surpassed me this week with a stellar 10-3 week. Or no, 9-4. He passed me by 1 there. Or yeah, he was already up. Yeah, he was already up by 1. So he gained another game on me. But really, John's the most improved player this week. He came back from a 7-7 start in week 1, 10-3 last week. He is now tied with me for last. Or I guess I am tied with him for last because he beat me. But I put myself above because of lone wolf record. I am 0-1. He is 0-3 there. So yeah. And last week, speaking of lone wolves, we had 4 of them. Logan had 2. He went 1-1. He got the Seahawks right over the Steelers, lost the Chiefs against the Eagles. I went 0-1. The Dolphins losing a close one to the Patriots, and Jimmy, he went 0-1 as well. The Bears getting demolished by the Lions. So what do we got this week? Rams at the Eagles. It's split. The majority going with the Birds. Go Birds, baby. Yeah, it's a good game. I mean, this might be the best game of the weekend slate, to be honest. Rematch of the NFC divisional game that in the snow in Philly. And look, I think that it might be a repeat, to be honest. I mean, this Rams run defense is still a little bit leaky, and Saquon ran absolutely wild in the 2 games they played against LA last year. So I like the Eagles. Go Birds. Hopefully they can do what they did against them in the NFC divisional round and in the regular season last year. Saquon running wild. Get the passing game going, man, though. I mean, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are begging Jalen Hurts to get the ball to them. Total's 44.5. I am going to lean on the under. Steelers at the Patriots. Logan and Danny, the minority on that one. Logan and Jimmy, the minority on this one. John and Danny rolling with my Steelers and me. This one's difficult pick. I thought it was a very flip-floppy game. I could see why the Patriots would win this one, but I'm going with the experience. I kind of did that with the Illinois-Indiana game. Even though it's the road team that's more experienced, I'm going with the experience of Pittsburgh to win out against the young upstart Patriots who got their first win for new head coach Mike Vrabel last week. Mike Tomlin's going to get it done. They're going to get this running game going and help Aaron Rodgers out. Christian Gonzalez doesn't play. The Steelers have to get someone else. I think Calvin Austin is starting to step up in that second wide receiver role, and the tight ends are really doing a great job. Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth filling in for Aaron Rodgers underneath. The defense, though. Defense got to get fixed, man. I mean, it's going to be tough with JPJ out, Alex Highsmith. Total's 44.5 as well. I'm going to go with the under. Falcons at the Panthers. Jimmy. Saving the graphic. Saving the graphic. Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it, Jimmy. I really don't. You know, this game, the Panthers beat the Falcons week 18. Bryce Young had probably the best game of his career, 300 yards passing. Um, and he had 300 last week. He's never had back-to-back 300-yard games in his career. Will this be the first time? Maybe. AJ Terrell is out. Okay. That means Tetrell McMillan has a massive advantage now. The biggest issue I have with the Panthers is that they just lost Robert Hunt and Austin Corbett for the year. Ike Ekwonu has been dinged up, and I don't know if they can protect Bryce Young. So that's the biggest issue I have with the Panthers in this one. I understand why, Jimmy, you're picking it, but and the defense as well. Bijan Robinson, I think, is still going to run wild. The Panthers have not shored up this defense yet, so I like Atlanta in this one. But I like Carolina to cover, though. 44.5 total. I'm going to go with the over. Bengals at the Vikings. Logan. Yeah. Logan's lucky. I gave Logan a lone wolf on this one. I originally picked the Vikings. And then I was like, I'm a quarterback guy. So Jake Browning, Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz. So I went with the better quarterback, I think, in this one. Jake Browning has been really solid for Cincinnati every time he's stepped on the field. He does not turn the ball over very often, although, aside from the 3 interceptions last week. But I really like Jake Browning in this one. It's going to be a difficult task against this Brian Flores defense, right? But helps out. You have 2 of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver tandem in the league. Jamar Chase, who had, by the way, 16 freaking targets last week, and T. Higgins as well. Noah Fant's been doing well for them underneath at tight end also. And Chase Brown can catch out of the backfield. So I think Jake Browning is set up for success in terms of skill positions. Obviously, the offensive line is still not there, but get the ball out quickly and hope you can make some catch and runs, I think, is the success story for Zach Taylor and co. And I just don't trust Carson Wentz. That's why I'm going with Cincinnati. Total is 41.5 here. I'm going to lean on the under. Colts at the Titans. Jimmy going again. And Jimmy, I don't quite understand this one as much as I did the Panthers. The Titans are not good. Okay, they're out Tavondre Sweat and J.C. Latham. The Colts Latu is questionable at edge rush. They still have DeForest Buckner inside. I think this pass rush is going to make Cam Ward's life very difficult, just like he has through the first 2 weeks. They've allowed 11 sacks through 2 games. That's not how you want to set up your rookie quarterback, number 1 overall selection. So I think that's going to be an issue for Tennessee, is protecting Cam Ward, and that's why I like the Colts, essentially. Daniel Jones can continue to do it. Titans, defensively, without Tavondre Sweat, it's going to be difficult to stop Jonathan Taylor. 43.5 is the total. It's divisional round, so I'm going to go with the under. Texans at the Jags. Split on this one. Danny and I are together on the minority. Logan, Jimmy, and John on the Texans. And I don't get it. I don't know if they haven't watched the Texans this year or what. This team's not good, right? And my thing is the offensive line. They have not been able to protect C.J. Stroud at all. And you got Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, and co. coming at you. I don't see how they protect C.J. Stroud in this game at all. And I like that pass rush matchup there for Jacksonville. And offensively for Liam Cohen, I mean, Trevor Lawrence is playing his best ball. They got a resurgence from Travis Etienne so far. and they need to get the ball more to Brian Thomas. But other than that, I mean, life is pretty good in Jacksonville. So that's why I'm rolling with the Jags. 44.5 is the total. I'm going to lean on the under. Jets at the Bucks. Pirate flags across the board here. And yeah, I mean, Tyrod Taylor starting for the Jets. I think that's a downgrade from Justin Fields as somewhat. You get the experience, but you lose athleticism and the running ability of your quarterback. So I think that's going to be a big issue. I think the Bucks defensively, Todd Bowles is going to blitz Tyrod, and I don't think he's going to be able to beat it. So, and of course, Baker Mayfield. That's a big issue as well. Protecting Mayfield, but Jermaine Johnson's out for the Jets, so that takes one pass rusher away. They still have, of course, a bunch of other ones, but I think that the way that Baker adapted last week very nicely to the lack of protection once his linemen got injured, I think suits him well. Just go out and play, Bake. 43.5 is the total. I'm going to go with the under. Raiders at the Commanders. This one's a difficult one. Okay. This one was close as well for me. I initially had the Raiders, but I have since flipped this game to a Washington majority. John and Logan in the minority on Vegas. Jimmy and Danny and I on Commanders. Why? Because what I looked at on Monday was not good at all. And I know the Washington defense is not what the Chargers have. But what I do like about Washington is offensively, Marcus Mariota has played well in his couple stints that he's had to play in Washington. Started a couple games last year, played well. So I like Mariota and run the ball. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt going to get the start in this one at running back. They're going to play Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols as well. So that's what I like. I like Washington to run the ball, keep Geno Smith off the field, and I think it might be a little bit of a high-scoring affair, to be honest, based off these defenses. But give me Washington. Total's 44.5. I'm going to lean on the over. Packers at the Browns. Yeah, this is trappy. Really, it is trappy. I think I would not be shocked if the Browns covered, but I do not have them covering. I have the Packers covering 7.5. It's a big spread in the NFL, I know, but and road favorite as well. Home dog. You can look at it however you want. This Cleveland Browns team just bad. Defensively, they're fantastic. They are still defensively elite. But I think the Packers are going to do enough, just like the Ravens did last week. They weren't able to run the ball. And I think this Packers defense is going to shut down the Browns running attack and force Joe Flacco into throwing the ball. And when he does, I don't know if they're going to be able to protect long enough. So I like the Packers to cover on total 41.5. I'm going to go with the under. Great hold by the Golden Hurricanes in the first game of the night here, about 14 minutes away from kickoff in Piscataway, New Jersey, Iowa, and Rutgers. But Tulsa holds Oklahoma State to a field goal. So great stop for Golden Hurricanes early. Let's get to the 4:05 slate. Broncos at the Chargers. I wanted someone to save the graphic, and no one did it. I'm scared the Broncos are going to win this one. This is the third straight divisional matchup for the Chargers, and that takes a toll on you, okay? I wouldn't be shocked if the Broncos won this thing. It's going to be a defensive slugfest, I think, and who can run the ball better is going to win it. Denver, I believe, has run the ball better statistically. The Chargers got to run the ball, but Justin Herbert is the difference in this one. The Broncos got passed on last week. They actually got ran on too. Jonathan Taylor ran for about 160. And I think Justin Herbert is playing the best ball of his career currently. So I think that's why the Chargers win. Justin Herbert. Total's 45.5. I'm going with the under. Saints at the Seahawks. No one saving the graphic for that either. Really love the Seahawks in this one. I think they cover. It's in Seattle. Do not let down. I know I heard a discussion about the Giants game last year that the Giants came into Seattle, crappy record. They beat the Seahawks on a blocked field goal return for a touchdown, essentially. But you got to win this one. If you're Seattle, it's against one of the worst teams in the league. Spencer Rattler surprised me last week. He played very well against San Francisco. But got to have this one if you're the Seahawks, and I think they get it. Total is 41.5. I'm going to go with the under. Cardinals at the 49ers. Danny. Hordes. 2-0 versus 2-0. This is the other undefeated matchup. Rams and the Eagles are the only other one that is a undefeated matchup. But it's Mac Jones once again. I think because they're at home, I like the San Francisco 49ers. I also have bet for them to go 4-0. So that's also why I'm in it. I'm in it for the money. But this Cardinals team has some deficiencies. They just haven't shown up because they've played two bad teams, the Saints week 1, the Panthers week 2. The 49ers, on the other hand, have played good teams, right? They beat the Seahawks. They did beat the Saints last week in a tough matchup. But they beat the Seahawks, okay? Which I think is a pretty solid team. So that's why I'm going with San Fran. Mac Jones played very well last week. He got the ball to his playmakers, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, Jake Tongas, Luke Farrell at tight end, and Christian McCaffrey, of course, out of the backfield as well. So this Cardinals defense has surprised me this year also so far, but I like this 49ers. Kyle Shanahan gets the dub here. Total's 45.5. It's a divisional matchup, so I'm going to go with the under. Touchdown, Golden Hurricanes. Baylor Hayes, 19 yards to Braylon Presley there. Golden Hurricanes up 7-3, baby. Go, Tulsa. And the last 425 game here, Cowboys at the Bears split. Jimmy and I in the minority. We're holding strong with our NFC North brethren. Logan, John, and Danny, they are going with the Cowboys. I was thinking about flipping live, but I'm going to stick. I'm going to stick with you, Jimmy. This is about Caleb Williams, okay? We need Caleb to be able to score some points in this game because I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. We got 3 corners out, Jalen Jones, Jalen Johnson, and Kyler Gordon. TJ Edwards at linebacker is out as well. It's a lot of defense out. Need to score some points, okay, for this Ben Johnson to get his first win as a head coach. Let's get it done in Chicago. Bears win it here for Jimmy and I. Total's 50.5. I mean, over. Like I said, I think it has to be high scoring based off the injuries that we see in this game to the secondary and defensively overall. So total over 50.5. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs at the Giants. Kind of trappy, I think. Russell Wilson had a resurgence last year, 450 passing yards. I don't know. It's the Chiefs. I mean, the Chiefs aren't going to go 0-3. Like, there's no way, right? Or are they? I don't know. But I think this one's going to be closer than people think. Giants covering would not surprise me. The defense is still the defense. I think it's going to be a slugfest defensively. I don't think that you're going to get anything like the Dallas game. I think you're going to get closer to the Philly game the Chiefs played last week, 2017, something like that, maybe even lower. But, yeah, I think defenses rule in this game, and it's going to be a sloppy Sunday night in this game. But Chiefs win it somehow. Total's 45.5. Hopefully Xavier Worthy plays. That would give Kansas City a big boost if he did. 45.5 total here. I like the under. 820 NBC. Best bets of the week. Yeah, took a dive last week. 2-1 week 1, 1-2 last week. 3-3. Still 500 though, so we're not terrible going into week 3. Jags, though, is my first one, -1.5 against the Texans. I believe I was in the majority for the Jags game there. If I can recall. Or no, I was in the minority. Yeah, Danny and I on the Jags. So sure, that would be even an extra win for me being in minority on that game. So yeah, I like the Jags cover. It's a small spread at home, so get the dub and win by at least 2. Panthers, I am with Jimmy on this one. I think they can cover. I like buying the points to like 8 because you can still get decent value out of that. But plus 5.5, I think, is definitely doable for Bryce Young. Again, they beat the Falcons week 18 last year when the Falcons kind of needed it to stay in the playoff race and to potentially get into the playoffs, stay in the NFC South race. But I like it. Carolina plus 5.5 to cover there against Atlanta. And then the Bears, I just talked about this game, plus 1.5 against the Cowboys. Jimmy and I are in the minority on Chicago, but it's at home. Ben Johnson gets his first win as an NFL head coach. Lock standings. Yep, we are looking good, boys. 2-0. Everyone has hit their lock so far this year. Can we get to 3-0, everyone? It's going to be a little bit different this week because last week, we had, or I guess it's kind of going to be the same. Last week we had 3 people on the Bills, and they beat the Jets. I was on the Cowboys, who narrowly beat the Giants. Thank you. And the Rams for Jimmy, who beat the Titans in Nashville. So we're kind of all together on this one. Jimmy and John, they are on the Bucks facing the Jets. I like that one. Everyone is on Tampa in that game. And everyone's on the Packers in the Browns game as well. Logan, Danny, and I, we are on the Packers. I'm hopping on the train for this week. Go, Pack, go. Dog standings. Yeah, I am dog crap. Yeah. Yes, sir. E-money. Go Birds, baby. I am dog crap in the dog standings. 0-4 so far. I've not been able to get even a cover out of my dogs yet this season. And 2 ones that I should have had one last week though. Dolphins plus 1.5 at the Colts. Week 1 was not very good at all, 33-8. Jags though last week plus 3.5 at the Bengals. They had it. Should have covered, maybe even won, but they did not. Logan though, look at him, 4-0. He's hit 2 outright wins. The Raiders plus 3 at the Patriots week 1. Seahawks plus 2.5 at the Steelers last week. John is in second because he got a cover week 1 with the Jets plus 2.5 against the Steelers, even though they lost outright. Last week he got the Falcons. He was with Danny on the Falcons plus 3.5 at the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. They won outright. And Jimmy got his first cover and outright win. The Patriots winning in Miami plus 1.5 last week. So this week, similar to the locks, we have 3 of us on the same team. The Bengals for Jimmy, John, and I plus 2.5 at Jimmy's Vikings. I'm hoping Jimmy is not doing this reverse psychology crap where he's picking the Bengals because he wants the Vikings to win. I'm hopeful that's not why he's doing it. But we all like the Bengals in that game. Logan is lone wolfing the Vikings. Go Jake Browning. Let's get it done. Logan, by the way, is on the Rams plus 3.5 at the Eagles. Screw you, Logan. You are not going to go 3 straight outright wins. Go Birds. Eagles are going to win in Philly by 4. Danny is on the Cardinals. He's lone wolfing Arizona. So, Danny, you are going to lose 2, sir. Plus 2.5 at the 49ers. Yeah. Hopefully they lose. Jimmy, John, and I, we win. That's what we need this week. And that is the show, people. Next week, Next week, we'll be back talking NFL Week 4. We got your game previews Monday night and Thursday night recaps. Monday night, we got a massive showdown in Baltimore. Lions at the Ravens. Talk more about this on Monday, but I think that thing's going to be just a complete blazer in Baltimore. I think there's going to be points everywhere in that game. So make sure to watch that on Monday. And then the Week 4 kickoff, big time NFC West matchup. Seahawks at the Cardinals. I have them based off my picks. That's going to be a 2-1 versus 2-1 for me. So obviously it's massive implications for the NFC West early matchup, but in terms of overall standings as well, someone gets the 3-1 in my book, someone gets the 2-2. So make sure you tune in for that one as well. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast, Instagram and X, FAA_bets on X as well. FAApodcast.com is our website. You check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and TikTok at FAA.podcast. And we will see y'all back on Monday.